fish in the sea. It'll be so empty without me. Now this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy. Cause it feels so empty without me. I said this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me. Cause we need a little controversy. Cause it feels so empty without me.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are listening to the most electrifying podcast in all of internet radio today. You are listening to the Sportswire. My name is Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and I am here with you. Today is Monday, August 1st, 2016. We are just 5 months away from 2017. I can't believe this time has gone by so quickly. You know, it really has. It feels like I had this conversation on Facebook a couple days ago. You know what? I feel like I've lived through so much in these past 7 months, being that July was the 7th month, but yet it's gone by so quick as well. So I don't know how to rectify that situation, but either way, time just keeps going. And time passes, it goes by quicker and quicker the older you get. In 22 days, I will be 35 years old, and I do want to point out that there might be a possibility of me having to take a phone call in the middle of the show. So at that point, I need to get a song ready, because what I'm waiting for is a phone call back about a car. Last week or a week and a half ago, I had to junk my car, so I went down, and I'm hoping to get another car today or tomorrow. I'm just waiting for the financing to go through, and that is why I might have to take a phone call. With that being said, I do want to say that today is going to be a great episode, a great day. As always, we are here live from Sportswire Studios in New Britain, Connecticut, historic New Britain, Connecticut, I should say. And it's going to be a great day. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to go over some Connecticut Panthers news and notes from this past game against the Connecticut Bearcats. We're going to go over some WWE news and notes with SummerSlam on the horizon, and the draft lottery that went down a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago at this point. We're also going to go over some politics. As we know, it's getting hot and heavy into campaign season. Donald Trump and Tim Pence are going against Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine. It's going to be a slobber knocker for sure. I've got my thoughts on that, as well as some life stories, life experiences, life stuff that goes on. I want to welcome everybody. It is Leo season in full effect. It's been Leo season for about a week now. But you know what? The Leos are out. It's the kings and the queens of the world that are born through these days of the Leo. That's what we're celebrating for the next 3 weeks now. So what do we have to talk about today? Well, I just went over that. First things first, we got to give our thanks. We got to give our first fruits to God. Father God, thank you for just being the utmost entity in this world. Thank you for being inside of me. Thank you for showing me the path to take. Thank you for giving me the courage to do stuff and step out on faith. Father, I want to thank you so much for being the rock, Lord. Thank you for being the God being inside of me. And thank you for just showing me the path, Lord. Remember, we are all connected through you. We are all your sons and daughters. We are all your children. We are all one. We are all connected because of you. I just pray that everybody gets to understand that, and we get rid of the hatred and the judgment in this world, Lord. I want to pray for just the people around me. I want to put the protection over them, that they are able to, survive, Lord. Survive through whatever is going to happen in this country. I pray for our country. I pray for the fact that, we bring in a leader, Lord. We don't need another president. We need a leader. We need to get rid of the fossils in Congress, Lord. But that's getting more political. But I still want to thank you for just being able to live, wake up, walk, talk, breathe, and be able to make a difference. And I thank you and I ask all this through your Son Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. So with that being said, and I know I can get political a lot at times, but I do want to say that should we kick it off with politics? I mean, it seems like it's going to be that way anyways. There's so much going on. Obviously, November is only 2 months away, 3 months away. One thing I have to say is these debates that are going to be coming up are going to be absolutely a mess. And the reason why I say that is because, number one, okay, you got basically 4 people running for president. Obviously, you have Trump and Clinton. Then you got Gary Johnson, who's a libertarian candidate. He's the governor of New Mexico. He's got a lot of stuff that's good about him. He really, really does. And that's where a lot of Bernie Sanders supporters are going to. He's not for socialism, which is a good thing. He's not for the universal health care, the universal tuition, but he is for lowering taxes and, a lot of good stuff. He's done good with New Mexico, from what I heard. However, there's also a Green Party candidate in there. I don't know much about her. But these presidential debates are going to be absolutely a wreck. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton cannot stop going after each other enough to talk about the policies that are going to be taking place when they become president, should that happen. The way I put it up on Facebook that the vice presidential debates are actually going to be more informative than the presidential debates because of that phenomenon. Because of that. Because of the simple fact that they can't stop dissing each other. Okay? Now, there's a lot of stuff in Hillary Clinton's past that are very true, and, there's a lot of stuff in Donald Trump's past, whether it's true or not, it's, going to be brought to the light. And that's what it's going to be throughout the debates. And not to mention, I don't necessarily know how that's going to affect, I don't know how that's going to affect the outcome of the debates. I really don't know. Okay? So, let's see how that goes by. There's a lot of stuff, and I've been seeing it on Facebook. Okay? I've been seeing it. Because of the simple fact that, everybody's going after Trump. They're saying, because Melania posed nude. That's the newest thing. I just saw it. Let me actually get to it right now. And you know what? I'm going to share it on the Sportswire page. Where it is. Oh, yeah, that's right. The New York Post. The New York Post published a story. Melania Trump like you've never seen her before. Posing nude or whatever. And it's like, it's ridiculous, okay? It really is ridiculous, okay? The fact is, she posed nude for a story for the New York Times, for a French men's magazine. That's what it was, okay? And this is from the New York Post, okay? And they got a big picture, obviously with the nipples covered up, okay? And it says here, okay? This is the story from the New York Post, written by, it doesn't say written by, does it? Yes, by Isabel Vincent, a female, no less, okay? Donald Trump thinks his wife will be a model first lady, and here's the proof. Decades before she was sporting designer dresses on the stage of the Republican National Convention as Mrs. Trump, Melania Naus posed nude in a photo spread for a now-defunct French men's magazine, The Post has learned. Big deal. The leggy Slovenian-born model, then 25 years old and known by a professional moniker, Melania K, did the steamy photo session in Manhattan in 1995, according to Alain de Besseville, the French photographer who shot the sexy snaps. The images, some rarely seen and others never published, were obtained exclusively by the Post. The bombshell photos show Melania wearing nothing but high heels and pouting for the camera in a series of images shot from the front, back, and the side. Melania was super great and a fantastic personality, and she was very kind with me, de Basseville told the Post, adding the former model never once felt uncomfortable posing for the nude pictures. Melania's sexy photo spread appeared in the January 1996 issue of Max, a French men's magazine that went out of business in 2006. I was quite surprised when I saw the pictures because it was a racier shoot than I expected, said a fashion industry insider who was present for one of the photo sessions. But Melania seemed very comfortable with the whole thing, and she was very professional. For de Basseville, the inspiration for the pictures was the Renaissance and a celebration of the female body. I think it is important to show the beauty and the freedom of the woman, and I am very proud of these pictures because they celebrate Melania's beauty, he said. At the time of the shoot, Melania had just recently arrived in New York City from modeling stints in Paris and Milan, Italy. In Gotham, she was booked for mostly commercial work and was later featured in an ad for Camel cigarettes, the source said. When asked about the photos, Trump told the Post Melania was one of the most successful models, and she did many photo shoots, including for covers and major magazines. This was a picture taken for a European magazine prior to my knowing Melania. In Europe, pictures like this are very fashionable and common, which is true. That is true. I will say that. The Europeans are very more advanced than the Americans because they're not as prude and they're not as closed-minded. Going back to the story, in 1998, Melania was introduced to Trump during a New York Fashion Week party at the Kit Kat Club hosted by Paolo Sempoli, who was then representing Melania through his company ID Model Management. The two wed in 2005 in a ceremony at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida. Okay, so what does that really tell you? That she's a beautiful woman who posed. I mean, seriously, that is exactly what it is. She's a beautiful woman that posed. Okay? And I'm gonna share it on the Sportswire page right now for all you that want to check it out. And, it's seriously the point where you really need to look at it and be like, what's the big deal? So what? And I made this comment, like, do all first ladies have to be old and decrepit and ugly? I mean, come on. Look at Hillary Clinton, okay? When Trump was in the White House, or when Bill Clinton was in the White House, okay, she was the first lady. She sure as hell ain't looking that great. I mean, for heaven's sakes, Clinton, had the affair with Lewinsky, and how many other countless affairs he had. So you tell me what you would rather see: a drop-dead gorgeous first lady who knows what she has, who her husband's not going to cheat on her, okay? Or somebody like, that's postmenopausal, okay? This woman could bring a lot for the White House, could bring a lot for young girls, and someone that the young girls could look up to much more than our current First Lady. Okay, our current First Lady, now, Michelle Obama has done a lot. I will say that. Okay, they helped with the public school food initiative about having healthier lunches. That's all changed. That's been one of the better things about this Obama administration, has been they've done a lot for the kids, which is really good. I will point that out. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, that's one of the best things I've ever done. But overshadowed by that are all the cons and all the stuff that are bad about the Obama administration. Okay, the fact that how many mass shootings have we had in this country since Obama took office? I think the number is staggering. It's like 165 as opposed to like 20 from every other president or whatever. And then, it's like he instituted Obamacare. Obamacare was the absolute worst freaking... The premise, okay, the premise was good. Okay, every American should have health coverage. That is probably the absolute best thing that anybody could have ever done. Okay, because we should have health coverage. But the problem is to call it affordable, but then it not be affordable. There's a problem. And if you don't have it, you get fined. That's a problem. Okay, because quite honestly, it should be income-based. It should go by what you can afford. And the biggest thing, it should go by your net income. Not your gross, your net. Because yes, some people do get more taken out than others. Okay, but that's their choice. And that's what they should be judged on. You should not be judged on your gross income because you don't get to see, 45% of that in some cases. Or 30%. You don't get to see it. So why should you be judged on money you do not get to see? I hate that. I really, truly do. I hate that. Okay? Alright, so it's going to be a long day. You know what? I've got a clip to play. I'm going to play it now. And this has probably got to be, I found this gem, okay, and I was thinking about it, because I've been, as people have known, I've been going through a lot in my personal life lately. Back in April, Desiree broke up with me again, and then, going through everything, and her issues, and her, or I shouldn't say her issues, but definitely her actions, and the stuff that we have been dealing with, in our relationship, friendship, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're not together. She's with another person. I wish her the best, but it really got to me. It shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have, and I'm going to put a post about it later. It really got to me because, I'm not friends with her new significant other on Facebook because I truly do not want to be at this point. Maybe down the road if I see that it actually lasts and she's really, truly happy, then maybe, but not at this point. Okay? But, when Desiree posts stuff, I do see it. And I see the comments, and I see stuff going back and forth and what she says. Okay? And it's very, very oddly familiar. Okay? It's like, it really is. It's very oddly familiar because it was only a few months ago, 6-7 months ago, that she was saying the same thing about me. Not as public on Facebook because we kept it off Facebook, but to me. Okay? And even last year when we were actually officially dating on Facebook, this is all stuff that she said about me. So to see her say it about her, about this other person, it's like, it's hard. Sometimes it feels like a knife through the heart because, like, were you lying to me? Or, whatever. But what I come to realize that people will say the same thing when you get into a new relationship because it's a honeymoon period, okay? You'll say the same thing over and over again. Alright, we know that you're not the first person to make you feel beautiful. You're not with the only person that's ever made you feel beautiful, because if that's the case, then everybody who freaking dated you thought you were ugly. Okay? Let's see, it's just little things that really get to you when you're friends with your ex, but you know that you guys were good for each other, or you had, like in my experience and in my situation, I had my full heart invested in a relationship with her, and even after we broke up, I was still showing her that love, showing her how beautiful she is, telling her how beautiful she is, showing her how much I love her. Okay, and for all that to see her saying that about somebody else now, it's like everything that I did and said. Does that just go all out the window? Do you just disregard that? So, and I let it get to me. But there comes a point where you just have to say, you know what? You can't take it personally. You cannot take it personally. So, with that being said, I had to look through the archives of WWE for this promo. Back in 1995, Diesel, Kevin Nash, lost the WWF Championship to Bret Hart at the Survivor Series. He held it for a year. He won it like right after the Survivor Series, and then in '94, and then held it all throughout '95, and then lost it. And the day after, he had a really big heel turn. And I wanted to find this because this is exactly where I'm at this point. Alright, I've had a lot happen to me. I need to focus on me and the people in my circle. So, without further ado, I'm going to put it on. Okay, it's Kevin Nash as Diesel. Okay, and yeah, Kevin Nash is Diesel, and he's this happened on Raw the night after Survivor Series. So I'm going to play that for you now. Hopefully you can hear it and have good quality. So here we go.
A lot of people are probably wondering where Big Daddy Cool's head's at right now.
I'd like to know.
I thought about it. And I thought maybe I'd come out here and apologize for what I did to Brett, for what I did to all my dear fans.
Who needs them?
I don't think so.
Oh.
last night when I went back to my hotel room, I wondered if I'd be able to get any sleep. For the first time in a year, I slept like a bitch. When I woke up this morning and I looked in the mirror, you know what I saw? I saw a smile on my face. It's the first time I saw myself in a year. As I saw myself, not some corporate puppet that you decided to create, Vince. No. You missed the ball on this one, baby. You missed the ball. After I won the title, 24 hours later, I'm up in Titan Tower with the marketing suits, the merchandising suits. Hey, Diesel, we need you to smile a little bit. We need you to be a little bit more politically correct, a little bit more corporate. Well, baby, what you saw last night was the tip of the iceberg. Big Daddy Cool's back. That same guy you saw in Providence at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. The only thing that matters to me right now is my family, my friends. That includes you, Shawn Michaels. And I'm not saying something. I'm not saying I'm not going to smack hands. But it better have a black glove on it, baby. Because I know you're with me. Whether you like me, love me, or hate me, hey, that's the way it's going to be. I'm back.
All right, and that was obviously Kevin Nash as Diesel, and you know, it's funny because, and the way I interpret that is, the fact is just like I've been through so much, and I put myself out there to help people, but yet when I need the help, okay, there's few people there for me, but the few people that are there for me aren't always the ones that I always help. But see, you know, and I guess it all came out, it all came to a head when I started seeing everything that Desiree started posting about her new significant other. In that, you know, it made me feel like everything that I did for her, and everything that I felt for her, and everything that I, you know, wanted to be with her was all for nothing, you know, and out the window. But then I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I know I'm probably not the first person that she said it to. And you know what, quite honestly, this person's not going to be the last person she says it to. You know, I mean, and maybe that makes me bitter. Maybe that makes, you know, whatever. But, you know, I do want to say that I wish her the best. You know, we actually spent some time together last night, just hanging out. And it was fine. You know, yeah, there's some tension there. There's always going to be some tension there. But it's time for, I had to find it deep in my heart and deep in myself to mature. And that not every time that I'm with a female, okay, a female friend who I've been in a relationship with, that it all has to be sexually based. That anytime we hang out, just two of us, it has to be sexually based. It doesn't. You just hang out. You're friends. Right? You're friends. And I had to get to that point. Okay, she's at that point. She's able to be. You know, she's able to, just be friends with somebody that she dated. That's, for me, it's like it's taken a lot of time, usually in the past, for me to get to that point of being able to be friends with somebody that I, really truly had feelings and love for. Because, well, being a Leo, I fight for everything, and being Italian as well, I fight for whatever I feel is correct and whatever is right. I don't back down. I don't run. I don't leave. I fight, which is why when everything happened last year with Des and I fought. It's like, come on, why one thing? It's like if she did the same thing, yeah, I would ask her about it, but I wouldn't just break off the relationship. But that's what she did. And it hurt. It really freaking hurt, because I'm the one that screwed up. Okay, fine. But instead of talking to me about it, instead of saying, I found this message, could you explain to me why you would say something like that to somebody else? Or whatever. And it comes with the level of hurt nowadays. It comes with the level of there's nobody loyal anymore. Okay, everybody, it seems like there's no loyalty. And I saw this meme on Facebook, and I don't know if I can necessarily get to it now, but it was like there's no loyalty anymore. One thing happens, and everybody and people are out. People are just leaving. They're gone. Bye. Is that really a way to live a life that we're supposed to be loving? Loving someone else? If you truly love someone else, you will fight for them. Because that's me. That's how it should be. That's old school. I'm old school. Okay? I'm not gonna just throw it all up and say, you know what, this didn't work out, and bye. I mean, granted, now I'm 35 years old. I want to settle down. Okay? I want to be in a relationship. I want to get married and have a family. But that doesn't mean that, I'm just going to be one and done. No. People are human. People are going to screw up. But, and what hurts the most, I guess what hurt the most is that, see, trust is a big thing. And I understand that. But trust has to be built first. And I think that's something that has failed in 95% of relationships now. Because they're so quick. And they're so eager to move on to something new that you're not building a friendship first. You're not getting to the point where, oh, you know what? We love each other, but there's no trust. Because trust is built by going through troubles, okay? You can't just say, I meet someone, I trust them from the beginning, and if they screw up, there's no trust anymore. You can't do that, okay? It's like, trust has to be built over time. And the only way, in my opinion, to build trust is to say, alright, we're here, we're at this part where this person screwed up. I'm not going to look over my back. I'm not going to keep looking and snooping to see if they screw up again. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. That's where trust is built. And then, if they screw up again, then the trust is shot. But again, you have to have open communication. You have to FaceTime. You have to talk. You have to go out and have, time together. And unfortunately, nowadays, it's very, very difficult to have that. Whether it's single parents that are trying to get together, or even if, separate work schedules. It's tough. It's very tough to actually have those communication, those conversations. So what I'm saying is this. If it comes down to it, I want to be in a relationship. I want to build that trust. I want to be with somebody, start talking to somebody, and just really be able to love that person for who they are. End of story. Okay, and that's how I do it. I love somebody for who they are. I don't want any expectations, okay, of who they're going to be or whatever, because that's where you get killed, is the expectations. Because expectations are, obviously, you're expecting someone to be a certain way. If you're just meeting somebody, if you're just, getting to know somebody, how could you know them enough to expect what they're going to do? Okay, like, for example, the relationship that Desiree and I had going, the first time last summer, okay? Now, I'm not going to say that, obviously she expected me to be loyal, because I was, and I will never say I wasn't loyal. But, at the same time, okay, she expected me not to talk to people, or I don't want to put words in her mouth. Let me back up, okay? From what I see, okay, I could understand and see that, you know what? I screwed up. Okay? I screwed up. And I expected her to want to talk to me about it instead of just leaving. That's an expectation. I didn't know her well enough. Okay? I know that guys know that we're stupid at times, okay? I'm loyal to a fault. But at the same time, I like talking to people. And sometimes my wording could get a little different. Or a little flirty, I guess. But if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm never going to do anything physical. Or never going to hide anything from you. So with that being said, it's one of those things where, that's where the trust comes in. Yeah, you fucked up. You screwed up, but do you really love me? Would you ever actually cheat on me? That's the kind of communication you have to have. And that's at the point I would have said, you know what? I do love you, and I am in love with you. And this is just a past, this is just somebody I talk to at night when I'm at work. It has no bearing on it. I'm with you every single night of the week. Unfortunately, not many people do that anymore. And that's sad. It really is. But like I said, last night we hung out and it was fine. Like I said, there's going to be tension there, but you have to be mature enough to know that every time a male and a female hang out together, it doesn't have to equate to sex. It doesn't have to be sexual. Well, that's what it is, But, regardless. Okay. Next topic. You know what? Let's play a song. We played the Kevin Nash clip. Let's play a song. We're going to go to a good song. Okay. Weird Al Yankovic, Word Crimes. Right here on the Sportswire.
Everybody shut up. Everyone listen up. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Turn me up. If you can't write in the proper way, if you don't know how to conjugate, maybe you flunked that class, and maybe now you find that people mock you online. Okay, now here's the deal. I'll try to educate you. Gonna familiarize you with the nomenclature. You learn the definitions of nouns and prepositions. Literacy's your mission, and that's why I think it's a good time to learn some grammar. What? Now did I stammer? Work on that grammar. You should know when it's less or it's fewer. Like people who were never raised in a sewer. I hate these word crimes. Like I could care less. That means you do care. At least a little. Be a moron. Hey, you better slow down and use the right pronoun. Show the world you're no clown. Say you got an IT followed by apostrophe. Yes, now what does that mean? You would not use this in this case. As a possessive, it's a contraction. What's a contraction?
Well, it's the shortening of a word or group of words by omission of a single letter.
Okay, now here's some notes. Syntax, you're always mangling. No X in espresso. Your participles dangling. But I don't want your drama. If you really want, leave out that Oxford comma. Just keep in mind that BC are you. Are words not letters?
Get it together.
Use a spell checker. You should never hate these word crimes. You really need them. I hate them crimes.
Time for freedom.
I need those crimes. Dumb mouth breather. Well, you should hire some kind of linguist to help you distinguish what is proper English. One thing I ask of you, time to learn your homophones is past due. Learn to diagram a sentence to always say to whom, don't ever say to who. And listen up when I tell you this, I hope you never use quotation marks for emphasis. You finished second grade, I hope you can tell if you're doing good or doing well. Better figure out the difference. Irony is not coincidence. And I thought that you'd gotten it through your skull, but what's figurative and what's literal? Oh, but just now you said you literally couldn't get out of bed. What? That really makes me want to literally smack a crowbar upside your stupid head. I read your email. Yeah. It's quite apparent.
Your grammar's errant.
You're incoherent. Saw your blog post. It's really fantastic. That was sarcastic. Cause you write like a spastic. I hate these word crimes. Your prose is dopey.
Think you should only
Write an emoji. You're a lost cause. Go back to preschool. Get out of the gene pool. Try your best to not drool. Never mind, I give up. Really, no, I give up. Hey.
Alright, so that was Weird Al Yankovic with Word Crimes right here on the Sportswire. Alright, so moving on. Whoa, hello. That was not exactly what I expected. Give me a second, my entire computer tower fell over, and it didn't shut off on me, which is always a good thing. I have to fix that. The cord to my mic. Sorry about that. You couldn't hear me for a second because the microphone jack came out, and there we go. It's working. Alright, it looks like we're done with, oh boy. Alright, get back here. Alright, are we on? You can still hear me, I apologize. The wheel to my chair the wire to my headset got wrapped around the chair, the wheel to my chair. So everything fell over. I apologize for that. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Well, where was I? This past weekend, the Connecticut Panthers went into Wallingford, Connecticut and faced off with the Connecticut Bearcats. And the Bearcats have numerous former Panther players on their team. It's a very... it's another rivalry. I mean, the thing with the NFL, the teams are so close that they're gonna, there are going to be rivalries. Absolutely. And actually, I put something together for the Panthers. I'm going to play it right here for you. Because I thought it was actually quite cool, and it's going to be the new opening to the Panthers game. It's going to be the new opening for the Panthers games here on Blackline Entertainment and Sports Network. But I do want to say that they played a good game. They were, only half the team was there. Unfortunately, there were some people that didn't make it for whatever reason. They couldn't. They had other stuff to do. And that's the unfortunate thing when you deal with semi-pro football, is that, you're going to have people that, choose stuff over their games because of, work or, whatever. It's hard. It's sad. It's really difficult. But, that unfortunately that's how it goes. But the game itself was all right. The unfortunate thing is that the Panthers ended up getting beat 26-14. And like I said, they had only half a team. So, yeah, you can make an excuse, but at the same time, it's like, they're just stupid just stupid things, when you, like, for me, my thing is, like, if you're on a team, whether you're getting paid or not, you make a commitment to that team. Anything that comes up, unless it's a funeral, okay, which I can understand, or a wedding, which that's the case in this case, then you have to make a commitment. Now, I don't play. I'm part of the PR team, and I can't make a commitment because, because of my job. And that's the unfortunate thing nowadays, that, so many people work second shift or work on the weekends because, that's all the work they can find, or that's the career choice they make, Next year, I'm hoping to be in a better position where I could say, you know what, I need every Saturday off. I'm hoping I'm there. I don't know if I'll actually get there, but we'll see. Alright, so let me play for you the new opening to the Connecticut Panthers games right here on Blackline Entertainment and Sports Network.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the Connecticut Panthers. Weapons of offensive and defensive mass destruction have been authorized for use during the purge. No opponent has been granted immunity from the purge. Commencing at the sound of the siren, all hits, tackles, and spears will be legal for the duration of the game. And to those of you that have offered yourselves up to opponents, what the hell were you thinking? May God be with you all.
And that was, for those of you that have seen the movie The Purge, that's what it was made out of. And it was a special request by one of the players, and I did it. So, unfortunately, the Panthers are now 1-2. They're on a 2-game losing streak. Next week they go home, I believe, and they're going to turn it around. They play, I believe, the Western Mass Armor, if I'm not mistaken, next week. But we'll have to see how it goes. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for people to sponsor this show. Okay, I'm looking for people to come out and say, you know what, I want to help the Sportswire, and get a bigger following. And you know what I'm also looking for is I'm looking for an intern. I'm looking for somebody who is, great with social media, who's great with promoting, that actually has the time and wants to learn how to promote on social media for this show. Okay, actually for the whole network. Just to go through the show, share them into different groups, into different groups, into different on different people's timelines, whatever. So that's what I want. That's what I need. I need someone to help me out with that. So if you're interested, let me know. All right, couple bits of baseball news. The trade deadline is upon us. I believe today is the actual trade deadline. The Yankees have done a couple of really big moves, which I really wasn't expecting. They got rid of Aroldis Chapman and Andrew Miller, two of their anchor closers. I guess they're going to stick with Dylan Padantas for it, but that's just that's unfortunately something that's going to end up, in my opinion, biting them in the ass. But it depends on who they got, because I think they got minor leaguers. So, we'll have to see how that how that's going to affect them going forward. With that said, I don't know. Apparently, Carlos Beltran is also on the trading block, but excuse me. I don't know why, and I don't know why they would get rid of why are they getting rid of other people? I mean, yes, they have to build their stuff up. They're not in a great position right now, but they had three of the greatest relievers in the game, and they got rid of two of them. I wonder if, free agency, they'll end up coming back. Who knows? Same thing with letting David Robinson go. It's like, or Robertson, I should say. It's the same thing. But let's see. Let's see how that goes for them. Bother. Okay, so WWE news. You know what? That's what I should look up and let everybody know. World Wrestling Entertainment had their draft, and they had their draft last a couple weeks ago on Tuesday, and last week I should have went over it and who went where, but I did not. I unfortunately did not. The other good thing is Sasha Banks won the U.S. title, the women's title on Monday Night Raw from Charlotte. But let's take a look. That's the current superstar. I want to get to the draft. I want to get to actually where people placed in the draft. And, I know it's going to be a week old, so we'll have to find it. Brock Lesnar returns to Raw tonight. It's the first time since WrestleMania. And now I'm just taking a poll on WWE.com. Which of these titles would you most like to see return? And we know the Cruiserweight Championship is coming back. Okay? But I would love to see the Hardcore title come back. I really would. I would really like to see the Hardcore Championship make a comeback. And it looks like it's a 47% win over, it's at 47% that people want to see the Hardcore title come back. Rusev and Lana got married this past weekend. And Rhino ended up coming back on Raw. Or was it on SmackDown? I can't remember. No, I think it was on SmackDown. Yeah. Alright, so let's trying to get to they are coming back with brand exclusive they're going back with brand exclusive pay-per-views. First one will be in October, SmackDown exclusive Backlash. I think September, SmackDown exclusive Backlash. And let's see, we're getting there, I think. Talking about Comic-Con. I guess WWE is actually coming out with Booty-O cereal for the New Day, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Let's see. I'm waiting for the roster reveal for 2K17. Brock Lesnar's on the cover. We know that Goldberg is going to be the the main good God. The main storyline mode. It's going to be Goldberg. I wonder if they're going to have like the Streak in there without like Hugh Morris and Hollywood Hogan. They have to, right? I would think. Let's see. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. Doobie doobie doo. As we know, the WrestleMania 33, they're setting up for Big Show versus Shaq. That's going to be quite fun to watch. Oh, good grief. WWE draft moment was shocking. Let's see. Oh, here we go. 2016 draft results. That's what I want to see. Because I want to be able to read them to you guys. The WWE landscape dramatically changed on Tuesday night following the 2016 WWE Draft. Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon, Raw General Manager Mick Foley, SmackDown Live Commissioner Shane McMahon, and SmackDown Live General Manager Daniel Bryan picked superstars to come to their respective brands. The game-changing superstar switches were announced during SmackDown Live's premiere on USA Network and WWE Live Draft Center on WWE Network. So, here we go. In round one, remember, the rules were because Raw has 3 hours, SmackDown has 2. Raw got 3 picks compared to SmackDown's 2. So, in round one, Seth Rollins went to Raw, number 1 overall. Then WWE Champion Dean Ambrose went to SmackDown. Former Women's Champion Charlotte went to Raw. AJ Styles went to SmackDown. And Finn Balor from NXT went to Raw, who he's now the number 1 contender, and he's facing Dean Ambrose for the title at SummerSlam. Craziness. Facing Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the WWE Universal Championship. Round number 2, Roman Reigns went to Raw. John Cena went to SmackDown. Brock Lesnar went to Raw. Randy Orton went to SmackDown. And then the tag team champions, The New Day, all went to Raw. I thought they were going to split them up, but I guess not. In round 3, Sami Zayn went to Raw. Bray Wyatt went to SmackDown. Sasha Banks, the new women's champion, went to Raw. Becky Lynch went to SmackDown. And Chris Jericho went to Raw. Round number 4, United States Champion Rusev with Lana went to Raw. Intercontinental Champion The Miz with Maurice went to SmackDown. Kevin Owens went to Raw. Baron Corbin went to SmackDown. And Enzo and Cass went to Raw. I really like them as a tag team. I think they're my favorite tag team at this point. Round number 5, Gallows and Anderson went to Raw. American Alpha from NXT went to SmackDown. That was a huge pick. I really like American Alpha. I think they're going to be the next World's Greatest Tag Team. And also big news coming up. I'll tell you that in a minute. Big Show went to Raw. Dolph Ziggler went to SmackDown. Nia Jax from NXT went to Raw. She is The Rock's cousin. She is a fantastic female talent. She's going to do wonders in that women's division. And then round 6, Neville went to Raw. Natalya went to SmackDown. Cesaro went to Raw. Alberto Del Rio went to SmackDown. And then Sheamus went to Raw. Round number 7, announced during the WWE Draft Center live on the WWE Network. Golden Truth went to Raw. That's Goldust and R-Truth. The Usos went to SmackDown. Titus O'Neil went to Raw. Demon Kane went to SmackDown. And Paige went to Raw. Round number 8, Darren Young with Bob Backlund went to Raw. Kalisto went to SmackDown. Sin Cara went to Raw, so there's no more Lucha Dragons. Naomi went to SmackDown. Jack Swagger went to Raw. And then the Ascension went to SmackDown. I don't know why that was 3 and 3. But I guess that's what they're going with now. Dudley Boys went to Raw. Zack Ryder went to SmackDown. Summer Rae went to Raw. Apollo Crews went to SmackDown. Mark Henry went to Raw. And Alexa Bliss went to SmackDown. She's from NXT. Round number 10. Braun Strowman went to Raw. Breezango, which is Tyler Breeze and Fandango, went to SmackDown. Bo Dallas went to Raw. Eva Marie went to SmackDown. The Shining Stars went to Raw. And the Vaudevillains went to SmackDown. Shining Stars being Primo and Epico. In round number 11, Alicia Fox went to Raw. Eric Rowan went to SmackDown. Dana Brooks went to Raw. Mojo Rawley went to SmackDown. Curtis Axel went to Raw. And Carmella from NXT went to SmackDown. I wish they would have kept Carmella with Enzo and Cass on Raw. It would have been great. But either way, she's going to do great on her own as well. And then undrafted, Heath Slater. I don't understand why he was undrafted, but I guess he was. I guess they're going to try to set up with him going to another company, Evolve, I've heard. I don't know for sure how true that is, but we'll see. And big news, coming back to SmackDown is going to be none other than Shelton Benjamin. He has signed a contract with the WWE, so he'll be coming back to SmackDown. I would love to see him feud with American Alpha if Charlie Haas came back too. And then bringing Kurt Angle, that would be absolutely fantastic. Could you imagine having Kurt Angle turn on Team Angle to go with American Alpha, that would be just awesome. That would be just great. I'm sorry, but it would. It would be just freaking awesome. All right. That being said, that's, really fantastic on WWE's part to pick them up. All right, we're going to go to another song. All right. Gretchen Wilson, her version of California Girls, right here on Sportswire.
I ain't never had a problem with California. There's a lot of good women from Sacramento to Corona. But them Hollywood types, after a while, wear on ya. Strutting around in their size zeros. Skinny little girls, no meat on their bones. Ever even heard of George Jones? Ain't you glad we ain't all California girls? Ain't you glad there's still a few of us left know how to rock your world? Ain't afraid to eat fried chicken and dirty dance to murder. Ain't you glad we ain't all California girls? There ain't nothing wrong with plastic surgery. Well, Dolly Parton never looked so good to me. Everybody ought to be exactly who they want to be. But that Paris Hilton gets under my skin with her big fake smile and her painted on tan. She'll never have a chance at a real man. Ain't you glad we ain't all California girls? Ain't you glad there's still a few of us left know how to rock your world? Ain't afraid to eat fried chicken and dirty dance to murder. Ain't you glad we ain't all California girls? Ain't you glad we ain't all California girls? Ain't you glad there's still a few of us left know how to rock your world? I ain't afraid to eat fried chicken and dirty dance to murder. Ain't you glad we ain't all California girls? Ain't you glad we ain't all California girls?
All right, and that was Gretchen Wilson with California Girls live right here on the Sportswire, only on Black Lion Entertainment and Sports Network. So, what do we got going on? Well, really nothing anymore. It's 11 a.m. Okay, we've been here for an hour. We've talked about a lot of stuff here. One thing I do want to mention is I don't care who you vote for in this election. Okay? Y'all know where my vote stands, okay? I am a firm Trump train person. I'm full Trump supporter because I feel... See, here's the thing. It doesn't matter who... It really doesn't matter who gets into office. That's what it boils down to. Because of the simple fact that it doesn't... It really doesn't. It really does not matter who gets into office. Because nobody can really get anything done until we get to the point where trying to find something here. Until we get to the point where people will end up the people I'm talking about, the Congress people, all the people that, the senators and the House of Representatives, until they actually get to the point where they leave office, then, we'll get to the point where we'll actually have change. Until that happens, it's never going to happen. It's not. It's never going to happen. And the reason why I say that is because it's not. Quite honestly. Because no matter who can do what, okay, no matter Donald Trump gets in there, okay, what can he really do? Okay, what can he really do if the same Congress people are in there? Nothing. He can't. He can't do anything. Because here's the deal. When it comes to the point of the president putting out his executive orders, okay, quite honestly, when it comes to that, okay, you have to get to the point where you realize that it has to go through the House of Representatives and the Senate first, and they're all, they've all been there. How do you, after being there for so long, how do you keep the private sector, the people you're representing, your constituents, okay, how do you keep them at the forefront of your mind and what's best for them? You can't. You have to do what's best for your special interest groups and the people that are funding your campaign or whatever. Donald Trump does not have anybody funding his campaign except for himself and the people that support him. And it's no special interest groups, okay? It's no super PACs or whatever, political action campaigns or whatever, okay? It's none of that. He's getting donations from the public, and he's putting in money for himself. I really truly feel that Donald Trump will get things accomplished because he knows how to get people to do things for him, okay? Because he's a smart businessman. Okay, he wouldn't be able to have all the skyscrapers and all the buildings and real estate in the world that he has unless he knew how to get people to do things for him. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is, if he does not get anything accomplished, at least he'll expose the corruption in Washington. Because he already has. I mean, look at what the FBI and the Hillary Clinton emails and, we don't suggest any charges being filed. What? If any person had national security documents, okay? If anybody had national security documents on their private servers, anybody would be going to prison for that. Okay? Hillary Clinton should be in prison right now. Okay? She should not be running for president of the United States. Okay? I will not vote for her. I am fully committed to the Trump train. However, I will say that the only valid other person I could see doing a good job, okay, is Gary Johnson from the New Mexico governor who's running. He's a valid third-party candidate. And like I said, and I said this about a week or so ago, the presidential debates are going to be so electric and so out of control, okay, they should be on the WWE network. Because neither Hillary nor Donald Trump, okay, and I'm a Trump supporter, okay, he's not a corrupt businessman, as I just got a chat on my thing. I like to think at least somebody's listening. Okay, people have their opinions about Donald Trump, okay? I personally feel that he is, oh good God. This person just said we need Obama again. Oh boy. That's no. We cannot afford another. Well, I mean, if Hillary Clinton gets in, we're going to have Obama for another 4 years. Because she's just like him. Okay? Obama came in and ruined this country. Now, don't get me wrong. Bush was not great. Bush was not a great president. Okay? But when Obama came in, Obama had so many promises. And that he was going to turn this country around. And what did he do? He made this country worse. Okay? He quadrupled the national debt. Okay, that Obamacare is just the absolute worst thing in the world that ever happened. Okay, I can't wait for Trump to get in to repeal that. Okay, but like I said, okay, and it goes back to the fact of Obama did not lower the national debt. I don't know where people are getting their facts from, but Obama did not lower the national debt. He quadrupled it. When Bush left office, it was something like $92 trillion. And now it's currently in, I want to say $300 trillion. I don't know the exact stats on that, but Obama did not lower the national debt. Obama has not been the best president, in this, the best president in my opinion. Okay, and I was barely even alive to realize what he did, but Ronald Reagan was the best president we've had in quite a while. Bill Clinton was good. Okay, Bill Clinton was good. When he left office, there was a surplus in the budget, which is why there were so many people that got extra tax money back and stuff. So when Bill Clinton left office in 2000, our country was in great shape. Okay, and that's the one thing I will say. Bill Clinton was one of the better presidents we've had in a long time. When George Bush took over, okay, he had 9/11. And the thing is I still believe that 9/11 was a conspiracy. And I think it was an internal conspiracy for the simple fact that George Bush's approval rating was always low because of the election with him and Gore in 2000. Okay, and it went back and forth, and it was so close that they had to have numerous recounts. Okay, to the point where they finally said, okay, President, George W. Bush won the election. They needed something to get the country behind Bush, and that's why 9/11 happened. And I've researched it. I've researched the jet fuels the steel that was made that the Twin Towers were made out of. Okay, could have withstood the heat of the jet fuel. Okay, and the way that they fell, okay, it was like a controlled implosion. Now, do I necessarily want to, say straight out that the United States killed all those people on their own? Well, you know what? It seems that way. It really does. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that y'all don't want to know. And you know what? I feel, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Social media has exposed a lot in this world. Okay? It has exposed a lot because back, let's say prior to 2000 or prior even to 2005. Okay? The internet was big, but social media was not. Okay? There was MySpace. Okay? MySpace wasn't as open as Facebook is. Okay? MySpace, you kind of worked on your page and you talked to people, but there wasn't a news feed like you see on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Okay? And I still say that social media is probably the death of this world. For the simple fact that, number one, it is exposing a lot. Okay? It is exposing a lot. And this current election, okay, is part of it is being fueled by social media. Okay? There's so much hate and so much smear campaigns on Facebook. You don't even need ads on TV anymore, commercials. It's like it's all there. You find stuff that's going to say yes to Clinton and yes to Trump, or no to Clinton, no to Trump, or then you'll have Gary Johnson stuff out there. And this campaign, this election, is being fueled by social media. Okay, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing because you could network, you get people out there. The bad thing is that because there's so much crap out there, people tend to believe it. And not everything you read on the internet is true. Believe me on that. Or it'll be skewed to one side or the other. Okay? Like when people talk about, the unemployment rate is lower than when Bush left office. Well, that's that's true to a point. The people receiving unemployment that are still searching for work is lower than Bush. But the people that are actually out of work is much higher than when Bush was in office. So that's another thing that that's another number, okay? Because unemployed and non-working are two different numbers in the eyes of the government. If you're unemployed, that means you're collecting unemployment checks or direct deposit, and you're out every day looking for a job. Non-employed or non-working are people that have given up trying to find a job because they're not getting it. A lot of it has to do with ex-cons or ex-felons or people that have committed certain crimes that are just getting passed over because of the closed-mindedness of our country, or because there's somebody who's much more qualified, or somebody that'll take less money. A kid living at home will take less money than somebody who's trying to get on their feet and use a job to support themselves. It's a sad truth nowadays. Our country is screwed no matter where we go. The only way that we could ever change is if, no matter who gets in November, passes a bill saying that all government has a 2-term limit. That means that all senators have to vacate after 2 years and go back to working in the private sector. All House of Representatives, again, have to get a job in the public sector after their 2 terms. Okay? And a representative term is 2 years, which means we only see the same one in there for 4. Okay? And every senator, their term is 6 years. So every 12 years we get somebody new in. I think that works. And I don't want to say, oh, well, we can have change every term because they still run. No. How many times did Joe Lieberman from New Haven run unopposed? Numerous times. So it's like there's no voting. He ran unopposed. If we implement term limits, he could only go for his 12 years, okay? And then you get 2 new people in there. 2 new people in there. So with that said, it's a positive. It would be absolutely fantastic. Okay, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the Senate, depending on how many are in your state, in Connecticut there's 2. Okay, and then it's offset, so it's like at one point it's 1 seat that's up, and then 2 years later it's another, and then after 4 more years it goes to that first one. So we don't have to worry about that right now. And I agree. I do agree. Here's the deal. When the checks and balances system was set up in, obviously with the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, when our entire country was set up, first thing, what happened was when the presidential election came up, okay, when the presidential election came up, the president would obviously become president, whoever won. Whoever lost became his vice president. So we always had a checks and balance. Okay? So, I 2015 first quarter report, I just got this picture, okay, on my phone. Obama's numbers, 2015 first quarter report form. Jobs are up 7,206,000. Okay? The unemployment rate is down 5.5%. The long-term unemployed down 136,000. Job openings are up 81%. Real business startups are up 18%. Business deaths, it must be businesses that died, has gone down 18%. Consumer prices have gone up 11%. Real weekly earnings have gone up 3%. That I'm not sure of. I don't know how true that is. Food stamp recipients have gone up 45%, which is another big one because a lot of them are illegal immigrants. Home ownership is down 3.5%, which is true because so many people have lost their houses because of the economy. Corporate profits are up 174%, which again, if you're looking at Trump as being a corrupt politician, It's not him. It's obviously the government that's in place right now. The S&P 500 is up 157%. I don't follow the stock, so that I don't know. All right, Affordable Care Act. This is it. All right, the Obamacare. Okay, newly insured are 16 million. Still uninsured are 37. What is that word? 37 million. Oh, 37 million. Right, because we're fined if we don't get insurance. We're fined. You know, how ridiculous is that? And it's really not affordable. Okay? Debt held by public. Up 108%. Right there. I mean, do you not see it? Our debt went up 108% because of Obama. U.S. crude oil production went up 83%. Yes, Obamacare does suck. Okay? At least we can agree on that. Petroleum imports went down 59%. Okay? Wind and solar power went up 252%. I agree. Okay? Wind and solar power did go up. But again, it's not to the point where it's implemented to the point where it's not widespread. It should be. It should be widespread. Because that would actually help. I mean, if you start doing solar power, solar energy, you end up getting paid by the electric company because you're bringing in so much and you're sending it more to them. I think that would be fantastic. That should be all around. New car miles per gallon are up 21%. Exports of goods and services went up 39%. Okay. Guantanamo prisoners went down 50%. Well, how many of them were killed because of Hillary Clinton? Oh, I'm sorry, that was Benghazi, right? U.S. military fatalities went up in Iraq 267%, and in Afghanistan it went up 1,726 people. All figures reflect most recent data available as of 4/16/2015, which is over a year ago, since 1/20/2009, unless otherwise noted in our story. Caution, no single number can tell the whole story, which is true. And Obamacare is not affordable care. It's really not. You know, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. And my roommate is a pediatric audiologist, and he said that the Affordable Care Act has killed a lot of the medical industry here in the U.S. because doctors don't get paid nearly enough of what they should have, or of what they should be paid because of the insurance. And people aren't going to the doctors if they can't afford their deductible. My job, when I have to take insurance through my job, okay, right now, because right now, I will be honest with you, I am on the state insurance with my son, okay, which is great, okay, but I'm making $13 an hour. And like I said, it goes by my gross income, which I don't get to see 45% of my gross income. Okay? So I'm going to be kicked off of the state insurance, okay, and have to either go on to one of the Access Health CT Affordable Care Act plans, which, okay, I'll pay $4 a month, but I'll have a $2,000 deductible. Well, with a child, that doesn't work. Or I go through the insurance from my job and pay like $200 a month. Where am I supposed to carve that out? Seriously. CT state insurance kicks ass. Okay, well, I can understand that. Because any state insurance, see, and this is the only good thing that Bernie Sanders had that was a universal health care. Okay? Bernie Sanders wanted universal health care. But the problem with that is that our taxes will go up even more. Okay? Now, look at Canada. Okay, Canada has, you're right, you're going to get shit on either way. That's probably the thing that everybody can agree on. We're going to get shit on either way. Okay? Look at Canada. Canada has universal health care. Okay? One of our DJs, or one of our good friends of the show, Dean Wild, is a Canadian hip-hop artist. Okay? She attempted to do a stateless production show, but I don't think it worked very well on here. But either way, they have universal health care. The problem with that, which is great, because you get free health care. The problem with that is that when you have to get surgeries done, or when you have to get, a specialist done, whether it's a cardiologist or whatever, you have to wait months. Okay? So, you could die within the months. I don't know whether they have a priority list or whatever, but you have to wait to get in. Okay? That's the only problem with universal health care, because it's the same thing over in the UK. The UK has universal health care, and people go over there for surgeries because it's free. Okay, but you're waiting for a while for it. So it's really not all it's cracked up to be. What I will say is that this country, no matter how we do it, no matter who gets in, we're screwed. I mean, Hillary Clinton is going to continue on what Obama has done. I personally do not want to see more Syrian refugees in here that are going to kill us because we're not Muslim, because we're quote-unquote infidels. I don't like that. Okay, we have to focus on us, on our country. We need to stop we need to stop the foreign aid. Okay, we need to stop sending money that we don't have to other countries and pay off our national debt, because right now we're all going to be eating Chinese food for the rest of our lives, because China is going to own the United States, because we're $300 and something trillion in debt to the Chinese. Okay, President Obama is the only president that had our credit rating go down during his term in office. The refugees, yes, I agree that when people are trying to flee from a civil war or their country, okay, yes, they want safety, okay, but look at it this way. And when you and I've used this analogy before, I've seen it before, okay. If you have a bunch of apples, okay, you have a bushel of apples. If there's one bad apple in there, do you still buy the bunch? The answer is no. So, I do think of the kids, and see, that's the thing. It's like, I do think of the kids, and my heart goes out to them. Okay, my heart goes out to the people that are truly innocent. The problem is, okay, it's a great way for ISIS to infiltrate our nation. It's already happened. There is a lot of homegrown terrorism. Okay, I mean, without mentioning Black Lives Matter. Okay, but when it comes, look at the people in San Diego that when with the that shot up the DMV, they were people that were here in this country, and they were Muslim. Okay, look at the guy that shot up the Orlando nightclub. Okay, yes, and that's the heart to have. Okay, to want to help everyone. Okay, it's true. We do. I mean, I know I do. I love everyone. Okay, and I want to see everyone. I'm not racist. Okay, I'm not prejudiced. I'm not going to say that just because you're a Muslim, you're a bad person. No, not at all. Because when it comes down to basic Islam religion, it is a peaceful religion. Okay? But when you get the Islamic extremists that feel that they have to kill everybody who's not Muslim, or anybody that offends them, and look at how much quote-unquote political correctness has come into the country ever since Obama took office. We can't serve pork in schools or prisons or any public places because of it might offend the Muslims because they can't eat it. Well, eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean, it's like, why do we as Americans have to sacrifice and change our fundamental basic lives to make sure that other people are not butthurt or not offended? Why should we have to take the phrase "under God" out of the Pledge of Allegiance because of Muslims? Because or the atheists. You know what? You're in this country. The point is, and I agree, the point is, why should we have to not serve pork because Muslims can't eat it? You know, it's like there are many people with allergies. Okay, peanut butter, peanuts is a big allergy in the world nowadays. Okay, so I can understand switching over to soy nut butter or sunflower seed butter or whatever. Okay, I understand that. But when it's somebody's religion that's telling them they can't eat certain foods, okay, well, that's something that we shouldn't have to worry about. An allergy is a medical condition. When it's your religion saying you cannot eat it, that's a different story. Okay? Alright, we shouldn't have to switch over. Well, maybe not, no pork. I don't know about the pork in schools, but I do know that they have, I mean, up in Connecticut, there are schools that don't serve pork because of Muslims. In prison, they don't serve pork because of the Muslims. But, you know, it goes back to the idea, Jewish people do eat pork, as far as I know. I mean, I know it's in the Old Testament times that it's one of the unclean animals because it doesn't have hooves, it has fingers. But, you know, it's the idea that when it comes down to it, okay, we shouldn't have to sacrifice what's been in place in our country for years and years and years because of people coming in now. If you want to practice your Islamic religion, go right ahead. But that doesn't mean that everybody has to follow your lead. Okay? If you're at work, okay, and you do the 5 prayers on the rug and you're facing, what's that place called? Not the mosque. I can't remember it. But if you have to face towards the Arabic area, you do it on your time. You take your break, you take your lunch, you take your other break, and that's it, if that's what you want to do. Okay? Mecca, that's what it's called. You pray, you're facing Mecca. Okay? That's what you do. Okay? But that doesn't mean that everybody has to interrupt their day for it. Which, okay, that's a little extreme because not everybody does interrupt their day for people praying to Mecca. But, you know, when it comes down to it, okay, there are extreme people from every religion. There's Christian extremists. Look at the Middle Ages. Look at the people that bombed the abortion clinics. Look at the people that have hated on homosexuals for getting married and won't serve homosexuals because of their religion. It goes back to it. If your religion tells you to hate somebody because of who they are, you need a new religion. End of story. End of story. And that covers everything. It covers Judaism, that covers Christianity, that covers Muslim or Islam. If your religion tells you to hate people rather than love people, you need a new religion. That's it. End of story. Okay. Well, we've been on for an hour and a half now, and I think we're just about done for the day. Okay, I'm not going to repeat that. I just got a comment that made me laugh. I'm not going to repeat that, unfortunately. Anyways, I think we're just about done for the episode. So we're gonna finish off with probably, I got to say, my favorite theme song at this point of my favorite tag team, Enzo and Big Cass. So we'll see you next Monday live at 10 a.m. on the Sportswire. Here is Soft as a Sin. Have a good day. Like I said, I don't care who you vote for. Get out and vote. Voice your opinion. Let's try to make sure that Hillary Clinton does not get into the White House. Because either way, she's not going to. I think anyways, let's just end it with that. Get out and vote. Voice your opinion. And I'll see you next week, live right here on the Sportswire.
You're soft, you're sloppy. They calling me Poppy. I'm rolling in bands, you riding around and I beat up jalopy. Hey, dog, bros wanna copy, but they are just not on way. I'm up in the club, stacking the dubs and stuck in a lot. I'm hot like sauce, you soft like balsa. You ain't heard of me? Well, you probably are. Ask about me. Nice to meet you, so good to see you. Bros wanna act hard, they need to take it easy. 'Cause you soft. Cause you soft. I don't. S-A-W-F-T. Soft. I don't. I look good when I'm ready. You're soft like spaghetti. I'm walking the walk, talking the talk, calling you soft. I'm a cloak on a sword. See me out on the floor, and you getting jelly the way all these girls be up in the roar. What's up, man? You need a slap of the chin. Be soft as a sin. Bada bing, bada boom. Don't make me say it again. Nice to meet you, so good to see you. Bros wanna act hard, they need to take it easy. 'Cause you soft. Cause you soft. S-A-W-F-T. Soft. I don't. You're soft, you're sloppy. They calling me Poppy. I'm rolling in bands, you riding around and I beat up jalopy. Hey, dog, bros wanna copy, but they are just not on the way. I'm up in the club, stacking the dubs and stuck in a lot. I'm hot like sauce, you soft like balsa. You ain't heard of me? Well, you probably are. Ask about me. Nice to meet you, so good to see you. Bros wanna act hard, they need to take it easy. 'Cause you soft. Cause you soft. I don't. S-A-W-F-T. Soft. I don't. I look good when I'm ready. You're soft like spaghetti. I'm walking the walk, talking the talk, calling you soft. I'm a cloak on a sword. See me out on the floor, and you getting jelly the way all these girls be up in the roar. What's up, man? You need a slap of the chin. Be soft as a sin. Bada bing, bada boom. Don't make me say it again. Nice to meet you, so good to see you. Bros wanna act hard, they need to take it easy. 'Cause you soft. Cause you soft. S-A-W-F-T. Soft. I don't.